This is the Unreal Tournament Guide to Movement Basics, and this is part 2. So if you haven't watched part 1 yet, I recommend that you go watch that first so you get a better understanding of what you're coming into for part 2. And this one we're going to be covering lift jumps and slide mechanics. Starting with the slide mechanics, these work in two different ways. One, enabling you to slide on the floor on your knees, getting under certain obstacles while keeping the flow of your movement up. The other works by sticking to walls slightly longer, enabling you to cover more ground while in the air. To slide across the floor, you must simply hold down the slide button and then dodge in a direction that you wish to slide. You can slide with both the double tap method and the single tap dodge. You can also slide by holding down the slide button just as you're about to land from a dodge or a jump, and as soon as you hit the ground you'll instantly go into the slide animation. The slide button can be found on your left shift button by default. Now you can change this in the options if it's uncomfortable for you to reach or press, so I recommend that you go do that. It's always best to find the controls that work best for you. Be careful when sliding, especially in a close range fight, because often it can be very predictable to follow and it's very stiff in terms of moving and changing direction, and also it has a large recovery time to the end of the slide. Now other dodge movement doesn't have this, so I recommend sticking out with the strafe movement and perhaps chucking a slide just to throw off your opponent once or twice, not really using it consistently. Often when hitting a jump pad you can be quite vulnerable while floating in the air. It's a very easy target to hit, but with the slide mechanic, if you slide before hitting a jump pad, it will halve the size of the jump, making it much quicker to get up to certain ledges and platforms, or even perform fakes and throw your opponent off. The other function the slide can do is the wall slide, so this will give you some extra distance on your wall dodges, making some jumps more manageable when using the wall slide. To wall slide, simply press the slide button when in the air next to a wall. If done correctly, you should hear a swooshing sound to indicate a successful wall slide. And don't forget to add in another dodge at the end of the slide just to give yourself some extra distance. Now the major benefit of the wall slide is that it will hold your height in the air just for a couple more seconds longer, enabling you to reach certain places and jumps much easier. Now a lot of the jumps in Unreal Tournament haven't really been currently designed with a wall slide in mind, so you can often still do them with a dodge wall dodge mechanic. But if you add in the slide, you'll notice how much easier a lot of those jumps will be. Now often when I see an opponent jumping towards a wall or dodging towards a wall, I immediately think they're going to wall dodge off of it and predict my aim to where I think they're going to land. But with a wall slide, what you can do is that you can keep in the air for just a couple moments longer and mess up with your opponent's timing and prediction of where you're going to land. It can throw people off tremendously well in a combat situation. Lift jumps can give you that extra bit of height or extra boost to get you across a map more efficiently, but sometimes lift jumping can make you very predictable in the air, so always think before jumping. There are two ways to lift jump in Unreal Tournament. All you need to do is walk on a lift, and as the lift starts going up, use that momentum with a jump or a dodge. Now the jump will give you a lot more vertical height, enabling you to reach areas much further above you. But using it to gain distances across the map is very limited. It can often leave you floating in the air, making you quite the target to shoot down. Now the dodge lift jump can give you a lot more forward momentum, covering larger distances, making it great for a quick speedy escape or to reach areas where the standard lift jump just couldn't reach to. But its downsides of course is that it doesn't have as much vertical height, so if you're trying to get to those areas way above you, you're not going to be able to reach them. Now when it comes to lift jumping, it's all about timing and knowing when to jump off the lift at the right time. If you do it too early on a large lift that goes on forever, you will jump too early and not get enough velocity or height to reach certain platforms. Now on a smaller lift, if you jump too late, you can often not get any height at all. So that covers part 2 of the movement basics. There is part 3 coming up, which is going to be weapon movement. This is going to be rocket jumping, impact hammer dodging, etc. So look forward to that next lesson, and guys, good luck, have fun out there in the tournament, and I'll see you out there soon.